The biggest myth when it comes to organizing kids is that we, the parents, should just take over and do it ourselves. It is the one thing that frustrates me so much with all this organizing advice about like teaching kids how to organize. The advice always starts with the grown-up setting up a system and then teaching the kids how to do it. Now, I understand that for toddlers. I understand that for maybe even preschoolers, but once your kids get to like elementary school, middle school, high school, they need to be taking the responsibility of those tasks on themselves. You, the parent, can be the coach and give ideas, but you cannot be setting up systems for your kids, especially if they have a neurodivergent brain. Now, where am I getting all this information from? Well, from years of experience. Back when I was teaching in classroom, I would set up systems for my entire classroom so that things would run smoothly. And we had very structured routines my first couple of years of teaching. As I got my master's in special ed, I realized that the overly structured, overly curated systems were not working for my kiddos with a neurodivergent brain because they weren't learning skills. They just had to go with emotion. And our job as parents is to teach our kids these skills so that when they go off to college or live by themselves or even with a roommate, that they're able to do these things independently. So we need to use our time now to teach these skills versus telling them this is how it has to be. Now, this is going to look different for every kiddo and every situation, but the general idea is this. You come up with a loose structure for where things need to go and happen and be, okay? So in my classroom, all papers, anybody turning in, I had one designated spot. So that needed to be turned in by the end of the day. If I had a kiddo that would come in and empty their backpack and turn in, homework or papers or whatever, then like that was their habit or routine. I had checks twice during the day for any papers or anything. And so that was some of my kiddos, the neurodivergent kiddos use those reminders. Oh, I need to do this one task, but I never set up a structured, like you have to turn in your homework before you sit at your desk type of routine or habit because I didn't think it was fair for every kid. Some kids that worked, some kids needed the reminder. Some kids would use like extra time to finish their work because, there's a lot of outside factors. So giving kids the opportunity to create a system, but there was one designated spot where everything goes. In your home, this could look like you have a spot for shoes, jackets, backpacks, all of that, but where your child decides to place it in that vicinity is up to them. I have had families that have put like all the hooks all over the wall. I've had families use laundry baskets, that have used like benches, that have used bins, baskets, whatever it is to allow their child to put their things away consistently in the same spot. But this is something you have to do with your kiddo, and you have to figure out what would work for them, not you telling them what to do. And here's the reason why. You telling them what to do is not building the skill of putting things away. You telling them is just them following a command. Them doing it is building a habit. It is different because of how the wiring in the brain works. So when it comes to organizing and teaching kids, it really has to come from them. You should build up different expectations, and that should change as they get older, but you need to start loosening the rails on certain things. So just basic overview for where I stand on a lot of this stuff. Younger kids need much more structure. You can use picture labels and they can decide where things should go. As the child gets older, you can start loosening the reins on what needs to be organized and how that needs to look. So I'm going to use a child's bedroom as an example because this is something that when I work with virtual organizing clients, this is basically the structure we follow. So we start with, toddler, preschooler, their room is pretty much set up by the parent. And as the child starts to understand the concepts of organizing, tidying, cleaning up, all of those things, then the parent can slowly remove some of their structure from that space. As a child reaches elementary school, the room also shifts. I've seen most of my families end up getting a desk or some area to do work in their room. The families also kind of clean off bookshelves to add more books to the bedroom. And toys start to be removed from the bedroom as it kind of shifts with the kids' growing maturity as they kind of, age up in life, I guess we could say. So as the bedroom starts to change and we start to set it up for the new experiences the child is going to be having, we start reducing our idea of of organizing and put more of that on the child. What does that look like? Where do you want to store your clothes? How do you want them to be folded in the drawer? How do you want your books on your shelf? What things do you want to display? All of those components need to be starting to put on the child so that they can take ownership of their space. And I like bedrooms and play spaces are great places to start with this because it's easy to start scaffolding as their interests and abilities start to change and grow. So once they kind of get to later elementary school, middle school, we can start I expect your room to be clean and I can walk into your bedroom without tripping over something. I need your bedroom door to open and close without pushing. I need specific expectations can be put, but you aren't saying how it has to be done. You have your expectations set, but you aren't saying the how. When I was doing an organizing project years ago, the family had 4 teenagers. All 4 teenagers had all sorts of different organizing styles. One of them was very organized, very meticulous. One was not at all. The one that was not, her clothes were in the hallway, her clothes were down the stairs, her clothes were everywhere. And so with the parents, we set up the expectation that clothes, anything that belonged to that child, needed to be in their bedroom. The door needed to open and close without pushing, and there needed to be a path in their room for people to move about easily. That was the expectation for that teenager. And she kept it. Once we set it, she kept it because there were consequences if she didn't follow that. Any clothes that were left out in the hallway got picked up and donated, even if she was trying to sell them. Any of her sports equipment would then be hidden, and because she wasn't taking ownership or responsibility of those particular items. So as she started to learn, like, oh, my sports equipment needs to go in the garage because it was stinky and not in her bedroom or not in the hallway. It needed to go someplace else where it was designated and was agreed upon with the family. All of those things need to be done. The expectation needs to be set by the parents, but then the how to actually do the steps needs to then be slowly instilled with the child so that they can take ownership of those particular tasks. This is so much easier said than done. I am so well aware of that. But to me, it's the biggest myth when it comes to organizing because so many parents feel like, well, I set up this system and my kid isn't doing it. Well, your kid isn't doing it because it's not theirs. They don't have ownership. They don't have stake in the game. When we start to set the expectation of what is expected, but leave the how it will be done to them, you're going to be teaching them skills that they will be able to build upon. It's like anything, right? Like the first draft of everything you do is not great. Like, let's be honest, first draft isn't wonderful. You need multiple drafts of things in order for things to get better. Same goes with organizing, and this is as a skill. Same goes with art. Like everything in life. Your first time doing something isn't going to be great, but the more you do it, the more you allow yourself to kind of think in different ways and set things up in different situations, then you are going to be able to use those skills in a variety of ways. And that's what we want to teach our kids. That's the goal. So for you as the parent, what you need to do is find one space and create an expectation. Not how, you need to create an expectation. What do you expect from the space? My personal favorite place to start is bedrooms because it can be very easy to be, I need all of your clothes put away from the laundry by this day. You can also set no food in the room, or if you do, then it needs to be thrown away in a different location. You can set all of these specific expectations, but then how your child does that will be on them. So the expectation just needs to be what you expect of that space, and then leave the how. How are they going to put away clothes? How are they going to ensure that there's no food or crumbs in the room? How are they going to make sure that there is a path to get in and out of the room? How are they going to navigate this space with all of their stuff that they want to keep in there? If toys are kept in the room, how are toys stored? That's on the child, but every night that all the toys need to be put away, what does that look like? And you put it on the child so that they are able to start thinking of the organizing process and build that muscle of organizing versus you telling them this is where everything has to go. That's why I feel like when we remove our ideas of how to organize and allow our children to do it on their own, they're building these skills that are going to last them a lifetime. They're going to help them in so many situations because once you start planning and figuring out things and testing and trying new things, you're going to be able to do that in a variety of different environments. And that's the goal. Make sure to check out these next videos. I know you'll love them. Also, I have a free secret agent tidying mission that your kids are going to love. It is 5 missions that will help your kids gamify or turn cleaning up into a game. You'll love it. It's down below.